Welcome to OnCourtAI, the UK's leading AI tennis coach. I'm Coach Chris, joined as always by former touring professional Alex and sports psychologist Dr. Sam. There are several new features in the app this week, including the ability to go live and get instant coaching feedback without having to upload videos. Try this out when you next practice by clicking the Live tab in the app. I am really excited for this feature, and I hope you enjoy using it to get the best from your tennis. Today, we're focusing on backhands, which is a crucial stroke that can really elevate a player's game. Looking at the recent data, we see a total of 132 videos uploaded, with 66 players contributing to that number. It's exciting to see so many new members joining our community, 66 new faces. While we'll look at all strokes, the backhand has some intriguing stats from the last week, and it's time to dive into that and help everyone improve.
Absolutely, Chris. Out of those 132 videos, only 6 focused on backhands, which tells us something about where players might be feeling less confident. The average score for backhands was 59.7, showing that there's room for improvement compared to serves and forehands. Interestingly, players are uploading their serves the most, probably because it's such a focal point in matches. But a strong backhand can be a game changer, especially in competitive scenarios. I remember matches on tour where the backhand was the key to turning the tide.
That's a great point, Alex. The mental aspect of hitting a backhand shouldn't be underestimated. Many players hesitate or feel unsure about their backhand, leading to a lack of confidence. This can become a self-fulfilling prophecy. We're looking at a crucial stroke that can contribute significantly to a player's overall game. Today, as we analyze techniques and discuss drills, I'll also touch on how to build mental resilience and establish good habits around this important shot.
Let's take a closer look at some of the individual player highlights. Shoji stood out with a fantastic serve, scoring 79, which is great. They had a toss height of 41 centimeters, which is excellent. This shows that they're not only launching the ball at a good height, but also doing it consistently. However, we also saw that backhand scores were lower, so it'll be interesting to see how Shoji can translate their serving prowess into improving their backhand.
Definitely. Shoji's high toss and solid serve mechanics can parallel improvements in their backhand with the right adjustments. For example, if they apply the same attention to their toss and follow through on the backhand, they could see significant results. I remember how essential it was to have that fluidity in the backhand while I was competing. When you nail the technique, especially the follow-through, you'll find that your shot becomes more powerful and consistent.
That's a perfect transition into the mental game. Players often feel pressure during matches, especially when hitting backhands that can be more challenging under stress. They need to build a routine or a mental cue that reminds them to execute their backhand with the same confidence they have in their serve. This could involve visualizing successful backhands during practice, or even using affirmations to reinforce their capability.
Absolutely, and it's essential to connect the mental and physical aspects. Now let's talk about the overall stroke breakdown we have. Serves had the highest number of videos uploaded, with an average score of 60, while forehands were at 53. The backhand, while scoring slightly better than the forehand, still needs work. This tells us that players are focusing on their serves and forehands, but the backhand remains a bit neglected. We want to change that today.
Right, and we saw some interesting metrics in the individual highlights. For instance, one player had an X-factor separation of 69 centimeters on their forehand. This is impressive. The X-factor, that rotational gap between the shoulders and hips, is vital for generating power. However, I'd be curious to see how this translates to their backhand mechanics. A strong unit turn on the backhand can yield similar power generation if executed correctly.
Exactly. The biomechanics play a huge role in a player's confidence and performance. If players are aware of how their technique impacts their shot, they can adjust their mindset accordingly. For instance, if they know that a good follow-through enhances their shot quality, they might feel more motivated to focus on that during practice.
That's a great segue into our drill of the day, which is the follow-through technique drill. This drill is particularly relevant today because it helps players focus on completing their backhand follow-through. The biomechanics behind this is simple. A complete follow-through aids in maintaining stroke fluidity and adds power to the shot. I can't stress enough how crucial it is to finish your swings properly.
I love that drill. Completing the follow through is something we see from top players all the time. When you watch the pros, they all finish high and with purpose. This not only improves the shot, but also ensures that they're using their entire kinetic chain effectively, which is crucial for maximizing power. I remember watching matches where a player hit a beautiful backhand but fluffed the follow through, and it made the shot look less impressive.
And from a mental perspective, practicing this drill consistently can turn the follow-through into an automatic action. Players should approach this drill with a mindset of experimentation, exploring how different follow-throughs affect their shot quality. The more they practice, the more they'll instill confidence, which is vital during matches.
Let's go through the steps for the follow-through technique drill. First, players will need a racket and some space, ideally with a partner or even in front of a mirror. They start by setting up for their backhand, as they normally would. When they hit the ball, the focus should be on completing their follow-through fully, ensuring the racket finishes high and over the shoulder. It's essential to check the follow-through position after each hit to ensure they're hitting the target.
That's such a smart way to practice, and it's easy to see how this relates to the professional game. For instance, players like Nadal and Federer are masters at maintaining their follow-through. It's not just about hitting the ball, it's about how they finish the shot that sets them apart. Players can learn a lot by emulating that fluidity in their practice.
And to add to that, players should remember to be patient with themselves during this drill. It might take several sessions for the follow-through to feel natural. I recommend aiming for about 20 minutes of focused practice on this drill per session. Set small goals, like achieving a certain number of good follow-throughs, and celebrate those wins to build motivation.
To wrap up the drill, the key takeaway is that a complete follow-through doesn't just finish the stroke, it enhances the entire shot. By incorporating this drill into your routine, you'll notice improvements in your power and consistency, especially on your backhand. So keep practicing and watch your game elevate.
And as players work on their backhands, they should also keep an eye on their overall technique scores. The average score for backhands was 59.7, and I believe with focused practice, players can raise that significantly. Just as we see in our highlights and metrics, the way you structure your practice can lead to tangible improvements.
Absolutely, Alex. And as we conclude today's discussion, I want to remind players that confidence is built through consistent practice. Every time you work on that follow-through or face a challenging backhand in a match, you're strengthening your mental game. Embrace the process and don't shy away from your weaknesses. Instead, view them as opportunities for growth.
So, whether you're a seasoned player or just starting out, remember that focusing on your backhand can make a world of difference in your overall game. Embrace your journey, keep practicing, and have fun with it. See you next time. Ready to improve your game? Upload your shot today at OnCourtAI.co.uk.